this is Jo, Stitcher Cat Lady 26. Today is the 21st of July. It's been a while since my last video, the 9th of June in fact. So we've got some catching up to do. I'm not planning on wasting a lot of time chatting, so shall we just get on with the whips, do you think? Okay, so like I say, it's been 5 weeks, about 5 weeks, if not 6. So I've got a few whips to show you. I've had no new starts and I've had no finishes. Oh no, sorry, I have had one. Just one tiny little new start. I'll show you that later. So let's get on with the whips. First we have the Crystallise Stitch Along from Lakeside Needlecraft. Designer is Oxana Polyakova, and like it says on the tin, it is semi-precious stones and crystals. So currently I have this much done. There have actually been 8 parts released, 10 parts, sorry, of this release now out of 12, including Amethyst, which is my favourite. So but that's all the way down at the bottom here. So I've got a bit to go before I do that. So since we last met, I've done the obsidian, the diamond. I made a start on the jasper. So next up we have Joan Elliott's Fairy of the Rainbow. This was the piece that she designed for Paul Stitcher's retreat in 2019. So side, and this is what she currently looks like. So again, since we last saw each other, I've basically worked on the skirt in this general area. I do want to get a bit of backstitch done before I go much further with the stitching, but she is beautiful. So the wings are actually backstitched in gold metallic, so I think that would look rather luxurious when she's done. And that's on 28 count raindrops from Paul Stitches. Crystallise is, I can't remember what that's on, it'll be 28 count, might 28 or 32, so I'll double check that one and let you know. Thirdly we have Bellatrix by Filipina. And this is where she's at. So what I've worked on most recently has been this side, her hair, this side of her dress, and the arm. So she's holding a sceptre with an orb on the end in that hand, so that'll be where I'm going next. I've even done metallic in her earring and on her dress. So all those gaps, beads. So that's going to be fun. Now for the biggie. I've also done some work on Planet Dragons this time. Crafty Rogue Gamer is working on another piece by the same designer, who is Rob Carlos. Designs have been charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm doing Planet Dragons, so it's basically the solar system, the sun, all the planets, and our moon. And this is as far as I've got. So we have Mercury and Venus, and I'd say about a third of the sun. So the bit I worked on this time is here and here, so this bit. And that's actually part of the dragon. It's not sunstorms, they're actually the dragon. Yeah, so I've not worried too much about doing the Magical Stitches game for the last few weeks. So from the end of May, I just felt like I needed a bit of a break from it. But June's weekly challenge has actually been done over the whole month, and it's a spell out, but there's multiple words, and for each word you spell out using so it's design name, designer name, or an item in the whip, or your oldest project for penalty. And for every word you successfully spell out, you can take a guess for your Cluedo clue. I've completed 6 words, I think it is, including the longest one, which is cross stitch. For that one you get 2 guesses, but I've only made 4 guesses at this time because I basically had already worked out who, what, the murderer, the weapon, and the cross stitch project that was being worked on at the time. I only had to get the location, and I only had 4 options left, having eliminated the other 4. So I've just gone 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll see, but that has meant that I basically went through and did a whole big spreadsheet. I had little words, things for all my current whips, and I just basically picked the 3 whips that fulfilled most words or most letters, which were Bellatrix, Planet Dragons, and Spider's Queen. Spider's Queen is my oldest whip, so therefore it's my penalty stitch, so that's the one I'm actively doing now that I've done everything I can do with the others. So that's why Planet Dragons has come out, because you know you've got all the planets, you've got comets, stars, the moon, the sun, dragons. The parts of dragons are like tails, wings, lots of things in the design that you can choose from. So that's why Planet Dragons has come out. And I've got nearly 2,000 stitches done on it, so I'm quite happy with that. Right, so let's continue with the whips. Next we have Supernatural from the Witchy Stitcher. So there are 3 parts out now. I think part 4 is out tomorrow, and I'm already behind, but I'm not worrying about trying to keep up. It's a start along, not a stitch along. I have completed part 1 and part of the frame. So I've got Supernatural finished and the frame to here. So the part I've done is the siren. You probably can't see it in here, but I have got another video which I will put in separately. But the tail and her hair have been done with the DMC étoile threads. So there's a little bit of sparkle in her.
Serial numbers on their weapons. Firearms has them now. It'll take them a couple of days. They'll call you when they're ready for you to follow up.
Okay, no problem.
Whether I'll use them on other creatures, I don't yet know. I'm just going to wait and see what comes up. So we've got Werewolf here. So I don't think he needs anything sparkly. But down here we have Banshee. So I might see what I can come up with for that one. So then the next one is my other Heaven and Earth design, Spider's Queen. I will put pictures of all of these in. So I've actually done that. But that's quite good considering today is only the 3rd day that I've been working on it. So that's over 600 stitches. my parking, I'm actually working diagonally because this is hair and it's on this side of the pot, so it's going this way. So all the colours sort of run in that direction, so that's the way my stitches are going. So well, I'm not strictly working, you know, diagonal rows. I am sort of working each square as I go, but yeah, you get some idea of what it could look like. My last strictly cross stitch piece I've worked on is Rose Cup Santa by Mill Hill. And mostly what I've been working on with this is the beads. So I can do a certain amount of this in the evenings with my craft light not on. The only problem is I have difficulty telling the blue beads and the green beads apart, so I do have to do those in daylight. But the pale blue, the red and the gold are easy enough. So yeah, he's got some beads on him and that lantern. That will be attached to this mitten and hanging. Just wondering whether I'm actually going to bother doing the beard and moustache, but they do look like they're going to be fun to do, so probably will. My little new start, and when I say little I mean little, is this. It's Sample Hardanger by Textured Treasures. I bought this from Mad Morty at the Ladybird retreat in Crewe in April, and I finally made a start on it last week. So these are my first ever cluster blocks, so I was quite impressed with them. Needed to decide whether I'm going to be brave enough to actually do the cutting yet, and I need to do a bit around the edge, but it's a good start. And finally, in my works in progress is the Magical Bookshelf Stitchery from Stitchers. I've finished the shelf I'm doing in red, and I've started on the middle shelf, which I'm going to be doing in shades of purple. The bottom shelf I'll be doing in shades of blue. The actual shelves themselves are just various browns. So I have a bag with just scraps of red thread, you know, bits come out of kits, leftovers from kits and things like that. So I've got a bag of red, bag of purple, bag of blue, etc, etc. So I'm just randomly picking a colour. The tree, French nuts, that bush, French nuts, and all the tree bits here, French nuts, because they've basically been drawn just in little bits like this. I just figured French nuts would be easier than trying to do all the little stitches like this, because this really annoyed me. French knots are easier. So I've actually mostly been working on this in work when it's quiet. So so at the minute the bookcases are in backstitch, but I'm rather rapidly falling in love with stem stitch. So the books, the hill, the path, various bits of the moon stem stitch. So yeah, that's all coming along nicely. In my Nerge hoop, it's just about, the bigger one was just a little bit too big. I didn't quite have enough fabric at the sides to really get a good grip. It was just right on the edge, so I just went for the smaller one, but it doesn't seem to damage the stitches at all. Okay, so that's all my whips. I'm gonna stop here and move things around, and let's do haul. See you in a minute. So I'm back. Let's get on with haul. I have quite a bit this time. The bag is full. Of course, that's at least partly because it's been so long since I did a video. I've had 2 months worth of my Jodery clubs come in. But I'm going to start with this. Framework Wirral. These are the framers that I use. And he's done an excellent job of this. So this is called Down by the Sea. Designer is Angela Poole. It came from one of the cross-stitch magazines by Readley. And this is a gift for my sister-in-law. She lives on the north coast of Wales. And has decorated the house quite extensively in House and Gardens with lots of Flotsam and Jetsam that they've picked up, so this seemed quite appropriate for them. They have already had the actual picture presented to them just before Christmas. It just took me until May to actually get it to the framers. So they've basically got back home from a break in Spain, so we need to go up to them soon. Okay. No stuff for me. I've had deliveries from both Jodery and Flosstubers. So let's just start with the Flosstubers, shall we? So first off, we have the nature themed box. So we have 2 charts and 2 pieces of fabric. The fabric is hand dyed by Jo. They are not done specifically for the charts, and in one of the cases with this month it just couldn't possibly be. So we have, this is sunflower. And we also have Spangles and Sparkle. So pinks and blues, greens, mauves. And I think that would go really nicely with Joan Elliott's contribution. She's done one of her silhouettes. On the Petit Jardin. Excuse my French pronunciation. Yeah, so many things to see in there. So you've got geese, cats, rabbits, foxes. Every time you look at it, there's something new to find. So yeah, that's going to be fun. And Jo's contribution, Jo Critchley's contribution, is one of her stitcheries. But it's a stitchery made into a biscornu. So you basically just get 2 squares with the design on, you stitch over that, mostly back stitch, stem stitch, French knots maybe. I would imagine this one would work best kept very simple because it's quite small but quite crowded. And then make it into biscornu. If you're not sure how to do that, Michelle May, the Giddy Stitcher, has a really good video tutorial on making up biscornu. Obviously hers is done on either Ada or Even Me fabric, I can't remember. So you've got the strands there already, but that's no real reason why the same technique wouldn't work with this. As long as you've got straight edges and you basically match that corner up, corner to middle, corner to middle. So it's got 8 edges in a zigzag. So that's going to be fun to do. Also from Flosstubers, there was a new Joan Elliott fairy came out, the Hardanger fairy. So I ordered the chart, black and white chart, and fabric. Oh, I didn't say about these fabrics, 28 count opalescent, because I like it a bit. Just don't always like stitching with it. So Hardanger fairy, I love hydrangeas. gorgeous colours, those wings. And I just asked for the called for colour, so Joan's pictured that on Crystal Skies, and that's what I've ordered. Non-opalescent, so it's turquoise and blue, turquoise and purple and white. So I think they're going to look gorgeous together. So that's the full stitches. Now we have, came home from work on Saturday to find one of these nice little green packages. And oh look, there's two. So, this one is June's. The fabric is called Daddy's Girl. It's coming out a little bit paler than in reality, but it's sort of pink and grey. 28 count Brittany. And as you may be aware, I've switched to the tie-dye thread because I have all of the regular range. So I asked Michelle to switch me to the tie-dye. So this is the second month of those. They've all got white in them because that's how tie-dye works. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to using some of these, possibly on that Piscona with pole stitches. Because some of these colours are just glorious. So that's June. And for July, we have Caribbean Ocean, which is real one of those sea greens, sort of aqua, a little bit duller than that, or a little bit grey. It's paler on the camera than in real life again. So that's Caribbean Ocean. Again, 28 count Brittany. And more of the tie-dye. I believe she's introduced some new shades in this range, so I'm really looking forward to seeing them when they come in. So again, got some level of white or very pale in all of them because that's how tie-dye works. Now I just need to find homes for all of those. And finally, I have this. Now, my friend, whose birthday is tomorrow, so happy birthday Liz, her mother-in-law had this, and last time I saw Liz, last month, she passed this on to me. Sadly, Rosemary passed away last year, year before, gosh. Her mother-in-law passed away, and while looking through some stuff, they found this kit. So we've got fabric. It's a little bit marked, but give it a wash. If it doesn't come out, I'll just substitute a different fabric. We've got threads on a thread card. I'm not completely sure that's everything because I've only got half the chart. So half the instructions. All the thread colours, I think. So, I really don't think this is complete. I think I am going to contact Dimensions and see if they can possibly send me the rest of the kit, or you know, the electronic chart with, if they've got the DMC numbers, I could find them, that's not a problem. No, it doesn't actually have the DMC numbers, but I believe there are conversion charts around, so I can hopefully find that. So just need to contact Dimensions and ask if they can possibly send me another copy of the chart, or if they do an electronic copy, because I think it'd be really nice to do, and it would be a nice way to remember Rosemary. She was a lovely lady. And I do miss seeing her there when I go to visit. So yeah, thank you Rosemary, thank you Liz. And I will do this one. And that's everything as far as haul goes, just about. My little notebook that I was using to keep notes for my games and stuff and daily stitch counts is pretty much full. So I bought myself a new one. Much bigger. Much easier to see what I'm doing. So, yeah, the works, £3. So I think that's everything. Right, Flosstubers. Who have I been watching? I actually didn't think I'd been watching very many at all until I went through my YouTube library, and I actually watched a lot more than I realised. So not in any particular order. So Stitchery has done, still working on her Chronocross designs and her Hugh Blades of the Kingdom designs. Stitch along for that, so if you like Kingdom Hearts, go give that a look. Total Stitch Show, Steph, some fabulous work progress, some not as fabulous as others, but then when you're working on really big things, the same amount of progress on one of those looks minuscule compared to the same amount of progress on a small thing. It's all about progress, one stitch at a time, just getting that out there, down there and doing it. Get your head down, get it done. I've already mentioned the Giddy Stitcher for the Biscornu tutorial. She's also done a video on all the free cross stitch conversion programs you can find, so that was really interesting. Mad Morty and David, as much fun as ever. I think I'm taking a leaf from their book and spreading my videos out a bit more. DNA Geek Crafts, she's done a couple of her normal videos, but a very personal one as well, so yeah, my heart breaks for her sometimes. So I don't know when we're going to get another video from Carrie, because she's still sort of mid-move and in between homes, so I'm sure that will happen as and when she's ready. Road Mama Stitcher Amber has done the threatened soda stitch parade, and it went over 3 or 4 videos. That's a lot of soda stitch. It has got me wondering whether it might be good to do something similar, say with my Joan Elliott's, or Minora Corbett Strip Mirabilia. I'm starting to get a bit of a collection of other Filipinas now as well, so that might be something to consider for a future video. But oh my gosh, I always thought soda stitch was just a little bit too cutesy for me, and a lot of it is, but there's also some really nice things in that, and I thought, ooh, I like that. I might have to go and have a look at that one. Halloween Cat, yeah. Kitschy Whips, last time I said I was going to watch her videos. They were on my list. I've now watched the first 2. I've really not been watching much Flosstube recently. I've been watching more of just TV shows. I found Bosch on Prime Video, and I'm now near the end of season 3, and not bad in just a couple of weeks. So yeah, I've been watching more TV rather than videos. I do have one new Flosstuber, Nicole, who I know from the Harry Potter stitching game, has done her first video as North Island Stitcher. She's in New Zealand, unsurprisingly on the North Island. It's only a short video, it's only about 15 minutes, just a bit of a whip parade and a quick introduction, but oh my god, she has got some gorgeous whips. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some of her finished items in the future. So keep up the good work, Nicole. That's all my Flosstubers. Sorry, I've got my notes on my iPad here and the windows here, so sorry. Glare, but yeah. The usual non-Flosstube embroidery videos. Sarah Humphrey. She's my go-to if I want to learn anything, if I want a reminder of anything. There's also Embroidery Art by Nat and the Stitchery. So I'll put links to all those below. They all do very good tutorials and I enjoy watching their videos. It's quite relaxing. Nat's Flamingo project is really cool. So I think that's everything. I will put suppliers and details in the descriptions, and that's me done for now. I think there will be caps, beginning, end. So I shall call that quits, and I will see you next time. In the meantime, stay crafting, stay safe, be kind to each other. As my former alter ego Aglarana used to say, commit acts of random kindness and senseless beauty. And I'll see you next time.